the one thing that is still missing from my allotment is a compost pile. I mean, I have a compost bin, but they don't really work that well. They're not big enough, they can't generate heat. So what I've done today is brought in some pallets, and I'm going to construct a relatively simple compost pile. And in it, I'm going to be putting all kinds of things. So green material that I've brought from the greenhouse at home. I've got brown materials, so I've got sticks and twigs and dried up bits of grass that I took off of my new allotment plot. I also have some weeds and things from both of my plots. And hopefully I'll be able to transform all of this waste material into really rich compost that I can spread around on the tops of my beds. And that will help to keep weeds down, it will help the soil to retain water, and it will nourish my plants as well. And it should take not more than a couple of months before I could see some results with that. I mean, with compost, you can leave it for several more months to get it to a really nice tilth, but I'm just happy with some really rough homemade compost and using up this waste that I already have on my plots. So let's get started. When you're working with pallets, you need to look out for this stamp. And what it tells you is whether or not the pallet has been heat treated, like this one, you see the HT, or if it's been treated with chemicals. And it will say MB, which stands for methyl bromide. And that's a chemical used to spray pallets against insects, basically, because these are going across borders. So look for heat treated because these are safe for the garden and home. Avoid the MB ones, the methyl bromide treated ones, for all projects pretty much. That was pretty hard work. So what I've done is dug in 3 wooden pallets into the slope here. And I dug them in a bit, first of all, to make them level, because we have a rule here at the allotment about really tall structures. I've also dug over the soil a little bit because there is a lot of bindweed on this new plot. So I'm digging all of that up, or as much as I can find, and setting it aside so I can dispose of it before I start layering on compost material. Now the front of this area here is also going to have a pallet, and I'm just going to be digging in the trench right now, and then I will be just lightly tying them all together with some baling twine. And then when this is ready to be put into another bay, I will add another one onto the side here, and then I'll be able to easily lift up the pallet, fingers crossed, and just shovel the compost over into the second bay. So let's get back to work. Well, that should do it. This last pallet is a little bit shorter than the others, but I think it should do the job. And it will need to come out anyway when I'm moving compost from inside here into a second bay that I'll build over here later. Now I've put all of the pallets in place with the flat slatted sides inwards because I think that will make it easier to work with the compost because it won't get stuck inside these little spaces inside here. Now all I have to do is fill the compost bay, and you need to do a mixture of brown and green material. Now the brown material that I have on hand is all of the stuff that I've cleared off of this new allotment plot, and it's twigs and stems and branches that have all dried out. And then green, I have all of these bits and bobs from the greenhouse at home, and friends of mine have rabbits, house rabbits, and they've given me the wood chips and the manure that came out of the cages. So that's a mixture of brown and green. And then also I've got a massive bag of coffee grounds, and it's also considered a green. And I think a lot of people are reluctant to use coffee grounds, or they've heard that it's very acidic, but once it's been brewed, it actually goes to a completely neutral pH, totally safe to put on your compost pile. And it makes, from what I hear, fantastic compost. This is my first time using it. And I got this from a local coffee shop. Thank you very much, Noah Bakehouse. And that's going to help get my compost pile activated. Oh, there's nothing like that sense of accomplishment of putting something together concrete within just a few hours time, feeling really proud of my new compost bay. And it's about a third of the way filled up. I've run out of green material. There's a little bit over here, some grass in the sods here, but I'm not going to bother with those just yet. I'm going to go back to Noah Bakehouse and get some more of those coffee grounds, and then I'll continue filling this guy up. It's pretty sturdy, and I'll be keeping an eye on it, making sure that it has enough air, that it's moist enough, and we'll keep an eye on it, just make sure that those microbes are starting to work. There'll be a little bit of heat telling me that they're doing their job. I also need to give a shout out to Lucy and Yak. You might have noticed that I'm wearing a new jumpsuit today, and they sent me two, and I'm going to wear the second one sometime soon. And if you like the jumpsuit, I'll leave a link down below. I don't make any money off of it. It's just something that I quite like and recommend. So if you want to check that out, do so. Super comfortable. And in any case, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. It will tell me that you want to see more about composting and mulching and soil in the future, and that will tell me that I should make some videos. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. I release a video every week on a Sunday, and I will see you again next Sunday here on the Lovely Greens YouTube channel.